Hi, I'm Robert Chen. I'd like to talk about the latest movie, the summer blockbuster, which is called The Crazy Rich Asians. So, according to the story, the lead actor actually gets what he wants. He gets the lady. But in real life, Hollywood doesn't happen like what Hollywood says. I have a story. One of the first families I met was the Kwok family, who owns the Siu-hing, which is the second biggest property group in the world. In fact, their property portfolio is even bigger than Li Ka-shing's property portfolio. So the first people I met was in actually a speed yacht in Hong Kong, Victoria Harbour, and I met Robert Kwok, who's the chairman then, Siu-hing, and of course Wendy Ku is a good friend of mine. So according to the story, Walter Kwok was in love with teenage love. This actually, you can look at Wikipedia and see all that story. But let me highlight something, is that Walter wanted to marry the love of his life at that time, but it didn't happen. The parents, rejected this lady. So he ended up marrying Wendy, and they had a few children. So something happened that changed the course of his career. Walter Kwok was kidnapped by Broken Tooth, and he was traumatized. For 1 week, Broken Tooth stripped him naked, and when he was released after 1 billion ransom, he was never the same. He would stare at his big aquarium on the 3rd floor in Repulse Bay, and he would just be blank. So he never got treatment or any psychotherapy. So he ended up being depressed, obviously. And the other two brothers wanted to ask him to resign because he's no longer functioning as the chairman. But he was not okay. He wanted to keep his position. So it became such a big problem that he's not functioning so well. So that they want to get rid of him. So what happened was he didn't get any treatment, any mental health, psychiatry or psychotherapy, and he ended up going back to his first love, and he became a mistress. So when it came the time when the actual founder of Siu-hing, the father of Walter Kwok, died, the matriarch was in charge of the estate. So what is at stake was inheritance of $380 billion of inheritance split among the 3 brothers, and Walter is the eldest son. So it turns out that the matriarch said, "Look, I'm going to give you because you have a mistress. You do not know if your mistress will take away all the money. So we're going to give only to your children and skip you." So, but it became a big court case. It's all in the news. Even so much so that it becomes such a big issue. 380 billion at stake. So the story is this: that he didn't get what he wanted. But eventually he got what he wanted. He went back to his first love. So I have heard so many stories of crazy rich Asians in Hong Kong, in Malaysia, in Singapore. Life is not that simple. It's not like Hollywood. And for me, the whole, I love the story. It was very entertaining. But really, I'm not really attracted to the seductive lifestyle of the rich and famous. Rather, I think they live very empty lives. And for me, my message is this: don't be seduced by all this, Ferrari or McLaren in the movie. I think if you live a very attractive life, a fulfilling life, a life full of meaning, you'll be much better off than being attracted and seduced by a lifestyle that you can't sustain, and it's no meaning. You can have so much riches, but you have no meaning and no fulfillment in life. So that's just my take about the crazy rich Asians. That the message is, you go for what you love. You marry for love, not for money. and also don't be seduced by all this name, fame, and being famous and having richness. But actually, what's more important? Do you live a fulfilling, meaningful life? That's Robert Jack.